Okay, welcome back, guys. Today, my guest is Melbourne comedian Benny Abazovic. I still got it wrong.
No, no, all good.
Abazovic. Sorry, brother.
No, all good.
He's a 47-year-old comedian from Melbourne. Mate, how you going?
Yeah, good, good. Doing
How,
well in this lockdown.
you guys aren't even in lockdown, no way.
We are to the point of, I mean, we're not sort of allowed to sort of, well, we can do the shopping, you can go to Bunnings and all that, but beyond that, we're all sort of staying at home. I mean, if you're not working, if it's not essential, you're at home. So, yeah, so basically, yeah, I pulled the pin I reckon about 3 or 4 weeks ago from work.
Yeah,
And I just went, I'm too old. I don't want to risk it. Plus, I smoke like a chimney, so
yeah.
that's the last thing I need, end up in hospital or anything like that. So,
Apparently, the lockdown here is doing great for the crime rate because you have to have a reason to be on the street, right?
yeah.
So, did I ask you? The podcast is going well. How many episodes?
Yeah.
How many
Uh,
episodes you up to?
we're up to 18. So,
18.
yeah, so we're just slowly, well, we're just getting the numbers out there, and we're trying to get as many people as on there as possible. So we're just putting it out there. Who wants to be on? And obviously we've got to get you on as well. And yeah, why me and Geordie did it? It was purely and simply because I want to tell the story of the comedian, because
Yep.
it's one thing when we're all in the room and we all act like comedians, so we're all trying to be funny and we're all trying to crack a joke, but I want to know about the person. So, tell me a bit about the person, and you can relate better to that person.
Yeah,
So
that's exactly what I'm trying to do with these too.
yeah,
Yeah.
you give a bit of insight. You sort of meet the person, you get to know that person. So it's funny because I'm introverted, so I don't come out. Even when we're in a room, I don't sort of just go, oh, I'm here. I'm in the back of the room. Yeah, when it's my turn, I'm on. You know what I mean, sort of thing.
It's
And
amazing how
it's
many
fun,
comedians are like that, brother.
but it opens you up like this. Doing the podcast, I mean, I swear like a trooper the best of times, but it's just people are going, actually, I've never heard this guy really talk a lot. You know what I mean? In the rooms, it's like that's who I am. But then you got other comedians that come in and their guns blazing. You know what I mean? And I just want to know that person. So for me, it's all about getting to know the comedians, and yeah, just putting it out there. And it's like anything. You chuck it out there, see what happens. It's in the atmosphere. If it comes back, somebody's going to like it, I suppose, or somebody's not. So
Yeah. That's BJ Balls Out Comedy Podcast on
that's it.
SoundCloud. Hey.
SoundCloud, yeah. I'm actually downloading the video, so we've got video as well with it. So I'm getting all the videos to download on our channel on YouTube. So it's going to be called the same thing, BJ Balls Out Comedy Podcast. So that's going to be our YouTube channel as well. And then I'm just going to hit a few other. I think I'm going to go through Anchor, and it's basically going to give me a few more options of getting it out there. So yeah.
And it's free to listen to, eh?
Yeah, it's free to listen to. It's basically just follow the link, hit the link, and yeah, go for it. If you like it, thumbs up. If you don't, thumbs down. If you don't, we don't care.
Yeah. How long you been in comedy?
I started 2016. I don't know. I've always done arts. As you know, I always did media, drama, and all that sort of thing, and it sort of fell to the wayside. In my youth, in my 20s, that was primarily what I loved doing. The acting, the whole thing. So I used to be part of a St. Martin's theatre group, a youth theatre, which was out in South Yarra. And I did that for, I think, about 4 years.
Yeah.
And, put plays on and all that. And I always enjoyed being out there, like pushing the boundaries and doing that improv and all that sort of stuff. And then sort of fell to the wayside. I worked. I'm a professional, my profession is I was a chef, so I was a chef for a long time. And then, I just sort of didn't look at it. And then got to the point I had I had a restaurant. I sold my restaurant. And then after I sold the restaurant, I sort of went, what am I going to do now, sort of thing. And wife's just like, well, you've got to get a job. You've got to do something. And I said, I don't know. And I ended up driving the truck for 3 days a week. And then she goes, what are you going to fill in the other days? You're going to find a hobby or something. And I said, I don't know about this comedy stuff. And I went, but automatically my mind went to, oh shit, I'm too old now, so straight away, oh, I'm too old. But I've gone, but I've got the experience. I've been through shit. So,
Yeah.
and then I did a course in 2016, sorry, and finished the course. Did a couple of open micers, and then my old man got sick, and then I had to pull the pin. So ended up looking after him for a year.
Yep.
And then he basically passed away, and then after that year, it was sort of like, all right, I've got to go back to comedy now, but I've just sort of, I thought I missed that boat. And then the wife goes, well, there's got to be another course that you can do or something like that. And I said, oh. Then I ended up going found the School of Hard Knock Knocks, and I did another course with them.
Yep.
And then when I did that, it sort of went, okay, let's do this, and then got into it. And then my old lady got sick, and she passed away. So, so I had a couple of shit years in that sort of realm, and then I went, all right. And then she passed away, and it was funny because prior to her passing away, she was a big supporter in anything I did. But it was one day I did an open micer, and I came home and I just burned, and I just went, oh fuck that, that's so hard. And she goes, why do you care? You don't care when you talk to people. Why are you caring now? And I just went, yeah, you got a good fucking point I've gone. I shouldn't care. And she sort of opened those floodgates, and then she passed away, and now I've just been sort of starting hitting the rooms, and basically the virus thing came up, and now we're all sort of locked down, and like this year was going to be the year of just going hard, really hard, but we were pretty lucky. I mean, we started the podcast, me and Geordie. We talked, let's do the podcast. I hit up a few other people, and it was just always too hard to get everybody together, sort of thing. And then I just went, and then I pulled Geordie up, which was quite funny because I went to his room, and I said, I've got an idea. And I pulled this little piece of paper out, and it was basically drawn on a piece of paper, BJ, balls out, and there's a picture of balls, and it said podcast. And I showed him, and he goes, I'm in. That's all he said.
That's all it took. Yeah.
That's all it took. And I just go, all right, I'll set it all up, and I'll get back to you. And literally, probably a week later, we were on. And that's what we've just been doing now, just trying to get that out. And like we had all these ideas, like now through the festival, and that we were going to do put live podcasts through the room and stream and all that sort of stuff in his room.
Yep.
And it just sort of went, well, we can't do that now. That's all sort of went to the wayside, and now it's just basically we're just pumping them out as many as we can do. And like I said before, I want to get to know the person, the comic. You know what I mean? Because it's you can when you meet somebody, I want to relate to that person, and be it me or be it a up and comer or a young person or anybody watching, they all want to know, what are you about? You know what I mean? Because like we said, we're introverted. Some of us are introverted, and we don't want to talk, and we get embarrassed, and so yeah.
Do you remember the first joke you said on stage?
First joke I said on stage, it was. It was about an airline. Basically, it was actually stupid because I listened to it the other night, and I was like, when you cringe and you go, why the fuck did I say that shit? It was just like, but it is part of the learning experience. It was about, I ended up in, I had a winter wonderland tour in Europe. I ended up in Amsterdam. I was there for the drugs and hookers, but my wife was with me, and then I ended up blowing out in the gut, and then the doctor ended up shoving some fingers up my ass. So that was the whole premise of so I had this, instead of having a good experience, I had this total opposite experience and getting raped by the doctor,
But still a memorable trip.
It's still a memorable trip. But yeah, that was my first cringing moment of, why did I say that shit?
Weirdest gig?
Weirdest gig.
Or worst? Don't mention the place, just describe the gig.
Look, I've had some shockers, because it's like, I've had some real, where you sort of just go, you try to do something, like you get in that moment of, I'm going to try something with this audience, and it just doesn't work, and you're sitting there going, what the fuck did I say that for? I'm very much. I like to sort of lose myself in the light when I'm on stage. So
Yep.
if I'm looking at the light and I can't really see the people, but I'm hearing the laughs,
Yeah.
that's what I react to the most. But if I can actually see you and you're just looking at me, even though you might have laughed, but I didn't catch it, I sort of just go, shit, they're not laughing. There's a problem. So I start trying to figure it out in my head. And I've had that happen in one room in particular. And I don't know, because I've had comedians say, oh, you did well. And I'm just like, well, no. I mean, I heard the laughs, but I just didn't feel that I did a good set in that room.
Yep.
And I still go to that room and I still try that room, and it's very intimate. And it's just, I've just got to conquer that little fear of that room, because it's so, they're there right in front of you, and there's no real light that you can hide behind, sort of thing. So
You work mostly in and around Melbourne, yeah?
yeah, pretty much. Melbourne, we do Melbourne. We're basically, like, once this is over, we're just going to figure out what we're going to do and how we're going to go about it. And
Good crowds?
pardon?
Good audience?
Yeah, look, I mean, this is the thing about it. It's like each room is different every time. I mean, when it's just comedians, we're all in our own head, so we're not really paying attention to the comedian.
Yep.
But when you got that audience to feed from, that's the best bit. Like, you might have that audience there, and and when you hear that audience, like, I did one room in Melbourne where I sort of went, yeah, they're not going to relate to this, you know what I mean, what I'm talking about.
Yep.
But I finished my set, and I was standing outside having a smoke, and it was basically a rich couple in Brighton, and they've walked up and gone, oh, that's the best thing you've ever, that was awesome, we loved it, we got every part of it. And I just went, fuck. And I was on a high after that. I was just like, oh, this is awesome. But it's just that crowd where you meet that different, where you sort of connect with those people around. It's like, that's the part of it all. It's like, some rooms work. And it's not the rooms. I mean, I look at it as you're trying to relate to the audience, you know. So be that a young audience, be that an older audience, you sort of got to work that audience out before you get on there to a point. And that's still a learning curve for us, you know. I'm still learning that and feeling the room, seeing who's out there. But I like to sort of push the realm, as in, I like to use my size and my sort of voice to sort of project, and they automatically know. I've had times where I've sort of cringed, and they just go, why is he talking like a little mouse? And there's been nights where I just go, woof, and I'm coming right at you, and that's when I get the most laughs, when I just don't give a shit and I just come at you, 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So it's just keeping that momentum up, and it's like anything. If you've got, I get to the point where the wife says, oh, you haven't got much energy. What's going on? Are you tired? And I'm just like, no, I'm all right. And then I go to the gig, and I know that I've had a hard day at work or whatever it may be, and then I get to the gig, and I'm just not, I haven't got the energy in me, But then there's when I've got the energy, and I'm just like, nah, I've got the energy tonight. I've done everything right. Let's get into it, So it's all learning anyway. It's all fun.
You caught many hecklers?
Not really a heckler. He was heckling the whole room, and everybody was struggling to sort of pull him in line. And then I got up there and I just sort of cut through him. I said he was a redhead, and it was a pretty hard room to start off with.
Yeah.
And I just got up there and I just went, listen, Pauline Hanson, sit your ass fucking down. I'll get to you in a minute. And the room just went woof. The whole room went quiet. They're all paying attention at that point in time. And I suppose, I'm not a small bloke. I'm 6'2", built like a brick shit house. So I think that, and also me saying that directly to him, sort of slowed it up. But I haven't had anybody sort of go me. I mean, they might throw something out, but I sort of just go, yeah, all right, whatever. Just keep going. Just do your set. So I haven't really had that real somebody just heckling the whole time. I haven't had that yet. So I don't know. Who knows? I might get angry and throw a chair at him or something,
Who's your favourite comedian?
I've got a few. I mean, like, I like listening to the old guys, like, Rodney Dangerfield, Don Rickles, those type of comedians, that old school comedians. I sort of, I don't know. I grew up with that whole, that Benny Hill era, the Hale Paces, and A being served. I loved all that sort of stuff, that slapstick comedy, that's what I grew up on. Guys these days, I love Bill Burr and Patrice O'Neill and Chappelle, all that sort of stuff. I love all that because they write so well, they put it together so well. But yeah, I still like listening to that old comedy. You can't use all that these days. It's not politically correct, as they say, but
Yeah.
you can still twist it and turn it to make it as political as possible. But but yeah, that's what I sort of grew up on, and I enjoy that. I've always said I like that. How can I say the tits and farts comedy? I grew up on that, so yeah.
Mate, what are your hopes for the future,
Oh,
career-wise?
I'm hoping to hit a lot more rooms, trying to build up the portfolio, as they say, and I'm just enjoying it. I just want to do it. I'm doing it for fun. For me, it's not about being some sort of star or being. I just want to get content out there. I just want to work with people that want to actually do some good stuff. You know what I mean? And that's my whole thing. It's just like like I say, it doesn't matter who it is and who you're working with. You just put it out there, and if it hits, it hits. If it doesn't hit, well, so be it. But I'm not looking for stardom. I'm not looking for the money. And I think it's good at this age now that I'm doing it, because if I did it in my 20s, I would have been hungry to be a star,
Yeah.
And now it's not that. It's just I just enjoy it. I love going out there. I love hanging out with the comedians and taking a piss and yeah.
Just about to finish up. Before you go, don't leave yet. I just got to ask everybody if you could please hit that subscribe button so that if I could get paid, I can pass that on to my guest. Give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment below. Benny Abazovic, thank you so much. Guys, stay safe. Share your blessings. Benny, before you go, what's your favourite joke of all time?
Actually, I was thinking about this because I've been watching all the guys that you've had on, and I've gone and I went, my all-time favourite is Rodney Dangerfield. I get no respect. I get no respect.
Yeah.
And I love that joke where he turns around and says to his wife, like his wife comes in and goes, I want to go on a holiday. I want to try something new. He goes, yeah, try the kitchen.
Oh, I love it. Thank you, mate. Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
mate.
I'll talk to you again soon.
Take care. Thank you, mate. Much appreciated. Ciao.